What if the serpent in Eden was not simply a symbol? Before humanity's first disobedience, the world was imagined as a place where animals spoke, boundaries between species were blurred, and the serpent possessed a frightening intelligence. While Genesis gives us only a few sentences, an ancient book preserved completely in Ethiopia, the Book of Jubilees, retells Eden with staggering detail. Adam and Eve remain in the garden for 7 years until the serpent approaches on a precisely dated moment, speaks, and argues. After the fall, the mouths of animals are closed, their shared language vanishes, and our known world emerges. But deeper mysteries remain. Was the serpent evil, merely an animal, or a mask for Satan? By placing the Ethiopian Book of Jubilees beside Genesis and later traditions, we find an answer far more fascinating than the Sunday school image of a snake beside a tree. The real question is not just why Eve listened, but what kind of creature the serpent was before the world changed. Today, we enter the garden again to find out. But before continuing, please subscribe to my channel. It is a big deal to me, but a matter of a single click to you. For generations, Christians have heard the familiar story of creation, the serpent, and the fall. Yet Genesis never explicitly identifies the serpent as Satan, calling it only more crafty than the other wild animals. That identification solidifies much later, particularly in Revelation. Between Genesis and Revelation lies a vast world of ancient Jewish interpretation, prominently captured in the Book of Jubilees. Jubilees rearranges chronology, adds intricate details, and presents Eden as a universe governed by divine laws, angels, and cosmic judgment. Preserved completely in its Ethiopic form and included within the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church's biblical tradition, Jubilees offers an extraordinary window into how early thinkers imagined the origin of evil. While Genesis leaves the timeline vague, Jubilees states that Adam and Eve lived in Eden for 7 years of peaceful cultivation before the catastrophe. The serpent approaches on a precise date, the second month, on the 17th day. This exactness reflects Jubilees' obsession with sacred chronology and creates a chilling parallel. The very same day marks the beginning of the flood in Genesis. Eden and the flood are thus linked moments in a continuous chain of human corruption. The fall sets the stage, the flood is its consequence, and standing at the genesis of that chain is a speaking, active participant rather than a vague background symbol. Modern audiences frequently conflate the serpent, the devil, Satan, and mastema into a single concept. However, these figures emerged at different times in ancient thought. Genesis presents a cunning creature, Revelation identifies the ancient serpent with Satan, and Jubilees features the serpent in Eden while introducing mastema as a leader of hostile spiritual forces later on. Keeping these distinctions clear allows each ancient text to speak in its own voice. The serpent can act as an agent, Satan as a cosmic adversary, and mastema as a spiritual antagonist. Recognizing these layers reveals why Eden remains a profound mystery regarding how evil entered a good creation. Perhaps the strangest detail in Jubilees is that animals originally spoke with one language and tongue. Following the fall, the mouths of all animals were permanently closed, effectively ending human-animal communication. The author of Jubilees imagines Eden as a radically different communicative ecosystem where boundaries between species were porous. While modern readers find this jarring, several ancient writers entertained similar primordial ideas. Jubilees turns this lost animal speech into a core element of the theology of the fall, emphasizing that humanity's catastrophe fundamentally altered the surrounding natural world. Jubilees records the serpent's temptation of Eve, but does not include a lengthy psychological monologue about jealousy. Instead, explicit motifs of envy appear later in first-century writers like Josephus, the Wisdom of Solomon, and developing Christian theology. Tracing this historical development shows how the simple, cunning serpent of Genesis gradually fused with the image of an envious cosmic enemy, refusing to accept humanity's blessed position. This evolution transformed a simple narrative about a lying snake into a grand theological statement about cosmic rebellion and pride. The serpent initiates the fall not with a command, but with a question: did God really say? This lays bare the timeless architecture of temptation. By placing God's command under suspicion, the serpent shifts the narrative from outright rejection to subtle contradiction. You will not surely die. God is framed as withholding knowledge, transforming obedience into limitation and forbidden fruit into liberation. This psychological mastery explains why the Eden story endures. Evil often begins not by demanding we love wickedness, but by convincing us to distrust the good. Following the disobedience, Genesis records God's curse. The serpent must crawl on its belly and eat dust. Christian imagination expanded this into vivid physical imagery of a once elevated creature brought low. However, Jubilees remains restrained, stating simply that God cursed the serpent and was angry with it forever. The elaborate physical punishments and symbolic dimensions, where the serpent's degradation mirrors human pride brought low, developed across later Jewish and Christian traditions. The curse thus evolved from a basic biblical etiology into a powerful universal emblem of humiliation. Jubilees introduces a profound consequence absent from Genesis: total silence. After Adam and Eve depart Eden, animal mouths are shut. The serpent's primary weapon, communication, is erased from the natural world. This links the fall directly to a major biological and cosmic shift, transforming a world of open dialogue into the silent wilderness we know today. The talking serpent stands as a fading memory of an older creation, and animal silence remains a permanent scar of Eden, showcasing Jubilees' deep interpretive expansion of Genesis. The punishments of the fall reflect a strict measure-for-measure principle across creation. The speaking serpent loses its voice, humanity trades abundance for harsh labor, and relationships between man, woman, Earth, and God are radically fractured. Jubilees portrays this as a devastating chain reaction that alters chronology, behavior, and nature, ultimately hurtling the world toward violence and the flood. Eden is thus far more than a simple story about eating forbidden fruit. It is the foundational transformation of a harmonious cosmos into a reality scarred by boundaries, shame, and death. The narrative of evil does not conclude with humanity's expulsion from Eden. Instead, Jubilees uses this pivotal moment to build an expansive theology where human vulnerability invites rising violence and corruption. Enter Mastema, a hostile spiritual power operating within the cosmic order. While the serpent launches the initial deception, Mastema personifies the ongoing spiritual opposition confronting humanity. This paints a crowded, highly active universe where human free will interacts constantly with heavenly watchers, angelic observers, and persistent spiritual adversaries. Operating within Second Temple Jewish thought, Jubilees connects the descent of the Watchers and primordial corruption directly to the ongoing problem of evil. Even after the judgment of the flood, impure spirits continue to lead humanity astray. Jubilees serves as a crucial bridge between Genesis and later concepts of spiritual warfare and demonic influence. For Ethiopian Christianity, texts like Jubilees and Enoch preserve this rich cosmic worldview, linking heaven, earth, angels, and time in a manner unique among historic Christian traditions. Within spiritual warfare, the serpent stands as history's first visible agent of deception. Revelation explicitly links this ancient serpent to the devil, and Christian theology views Eden as the opening salvo in humanity's cosmic struggle. Jubilees illustrates that spiritual attacks rarely begin with overt violence. They start with a conversation, a question, a reinterpretation, and a promise. The serpent succeeds simply by persuading Eve to question known commands. The battle always begins inside the mind before manifesting in the physical world. Today's popular Christian image of the serpent is the product of centuries of interpretive evolution. Beginning as a simple creature in Genesis, it gathered layers of meaning through ancient Jewish commentary, Josephus's emphasis on envy, and Revelation's explicit identification with Satan. The Ethiopian tradition enriches this history by preserving Jubilees, reminding us that older imaginations viewed Eden through the lenses of animal speech, sacred chronology, and cosmic transformation long before modern artistic depictions of red devils took hold. By preserving books like Jubilees that vanished from mainstream Western canons, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo tradition offers an invaluable window into Second Temple religious thought. Scholars today compare Ethiopic texts directly with Dead Sea Scrolls fragments, proving that Ethiopian Christianity safeguards vital historical witnesses to ancient Jewish and Christian traditions. The story of the serpent is ultimately a testament to textual preservation, securing a worldview where human history and cosmic struggle are inextricably linked. Ultimately, the serpent in ancient tradition is less about whether a creature once had legs and more about understanding the mechanics of evil. How does deception enter human life? Why does a good creation become fractured? Jubilees answers these queries by embedding Eden within a vast sacred history of human choice, animal silence, and ongoing spiritual opposition. The serpent symbolizes the precise moment when trust in God was replaced by doubt and distortion. Its enduring warning is clear. Temptation succeeds not through force, but by convincing us to distrust the good. The most dangerous mistake we can make when reading Eden is assuming we already know its meaning. While we recognize the tree, the fruit, and Adam and Eve, the ancient Book of Jubilees reveals a much stranger garden. Here, Adam and Eve dwell for 7 years. Animals share a language, and the fall silences the natural world within a massive framework of angels, demons, and judgment. Comparing these texts across traditions shows us how a single story blossomed into diverse interpretations, from the cunning serpent of Genesis to the cosmic adversary of Revelation. Different traditions emphasize different details, yet they all point back to one primordial mystery. The tragedy of Eden began not when fruit was touched, but when trust was questioned. The serpent needed only to make humanity see God's command differently. Every generation faces that exact same choice between our desires, fear, and the Word of God. The Ethiopian preservation of Jubilees invites us to look past superficial questions of legs or bodily form and confront a deeper truth. What happens when humanity stops trusting the Creator? The garden gives one answer, history gives another, and the biblical narrative presses onward toward a final promise: the ultimate defeat of the ancient serpent and the restoration of all creation. The serpent entered history with a voice, but it does not have the final word. That belongs to God alone. If this documentary changed the way you see Eden, heavy checkmark subscribe to African Firsts. Heavy checkmark explore the Ethiopian Bible. Heavy checkmark discover the Book of Jubilees. Heavy checkmark explore the Book of Enoch. Heavy checkmark discover Ethiopia's ancient Christian heritage. Heavy checkmark more biblical mysteries and ancient Christian history. Until next time, may the peace of Christ be with you. African Firsts, bringing the hidden treasures of Africa's ancient Christian heritage to the world.